Before we begin, viewer discretion is strongly advised. The following content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. This is the verbatim federal courtroom testimony from the Sean Diddy Combs trial as reported by Inner City Press. The courtroom grew quiet when 50 Cent, known for his sharp tongue and no-nonsense attitude, took the stand. What followed was the most unexpected testimony of the Diddy trial. For years, 50 Cent had been online, making cryptic jokes and bold accusations about Diddy, but no one anticipated he would step into court and reveal it all under oath, as federal prosecutors delved into a series of trafficking and misconduct charges. 50 Cent unveiled a hidden lifestyle that had remained under wraps. He didn't merely accuse Diddy of questionable behavior, he came prepared with receipts, a list of names, key moments, and the industry's worst-kept secret, now officially documented in the courtroom. The judge instructed the gallery to remain calm, but you could feel the atmosphere shift. What 50 Cent said next, and who he implicated, altered the course of the trial. The feud between 50 Cent and Diddy didn't begin in a courtroom, it began in whispers, interviews, and viral Instagram posts. For years, 50 Cent was the only rapper brave enough to publicly call out Diddy, often masking his serious allegations with humor but always hinting at deeper issues. In 2014, 50 Cent posted a meme suggesting a closer than expected relationship between Diddy and Rick Ross. It made headlines for days, but many dismissed it as trolling. However, the jabs didn't stop there. In 2018, during an appearance on The Breakfast Club, 50 Cent recounted a moment with Diddy that, in his words, gave him suspect vibes. He recalled Diddy inviting him to go shopping together, saying, "I'll pay for it," with a raised eyebrow. 50 Cent commented, "Yo, this just feels funny to me. What grown man invites another man to shop with him and says he'll pay for it?" The room laughed, but the underlying message was clear. 50 Cent wasn't just trolling. He was hinting at something about Diddy's private life. By 2022, as the flood of lawsuits against Diddy grew, 50 Cent's tone shifted. On Instagram, he posted a message reading, "Told you," alongside a headline about the Cassie lawsuit. These fools been playing nasty games for years. Fans began to take 50 Cent more seriously, not just as a troll, but as someone who had been trying to warn the public for years. Now, under oath, his words carried even more weight. 50 Cent is no longer holding back. The prosecution called him in as a surprise witness to testify about his knowledge of industry events, private meetings, and his own strange experiences with Diddy. His role was to provide the jury with a clearer picture of the man behind the mogul persona. And according to those familiar with the case, 50 Cent came prepared with not just a list of incidents, but names, artists, collaborators, and victims. It all started with someone many had already suspected, rapper Fabolous. During an appearance on the Drink Champs podcast, Diddy kept asking Fabolous why they never partied together. "We ain't never really partied," Diddy remarked, grinning, but Fabolous only responded with nervous laughter, avoiding eye contact. In court, 50 Cent recalled what he had witnessed behind the scenes. "I was there for that Drink Champs episode," he said. "I saw Fab shrink in his chair when Diddy started pressing him. That wasn't a joke, that was real fear." 50 Cent went on to describe a private industry event where Diddy reportedly cornered Fabolous and made another unwanted advance. "I remember Fab telling someone, 'Man, I just want to go home,' but Diddy wasn't letting him," 50 explained. Puff kept saying, "Come on, I got a room upstairs. Just chill." Fab dipped out the back door. This aligned with a story Fabolous had once shared on Instagram about pretending to go to the bathroom and sneaking out of a Diddy party at 7 o'clock a.m. He never wanted to be there. 50 Cent told the court he was there under pressure. That's what Puff does, he pressures people. The jury was left stunned when 50 Cent added that he personally warned younger rappers to stay away from Diddy. "I told them, don't take gifts, don't go to his house, and don't ever agree to no after party. That's when things get dark." But it was what 50 Cent said next that truly got everyone's attention. "There's a whole group of us artists, bodyguards, assistants that all got stories," he continued. "But Puff has lawyers, power, and fear on his side. That's why I'm here to say it plain, with just 3 names mentioned so far." Everyone in the courtroom knew there was more to come. Prosecutors then asked 50 Cent if he was willing to name everyone on that list. 50 looked directly at Diddy and confidently replied, Oh yeah, this is just the warm-up. The tension in the room grew as 50 Cent turned his focus to one of the most unexpected names on his list, Justin Bieber. Now this one's gonna hurt some of y'all, 50 began, because people still see Justin as that little kid with the bowl cut. But let me tell you, Puff had him around when he was fresh in the game, and it didn't sit right with a lot of us. He then recounted an infamous video clip where Diddy was heard saying, "I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me." The mogul made it sound playful, saying, "We're going to go full buck, full crazy." With that, the courtroom braced itself for what was coming next. Under oath, 50 Cent revealed that industry insiders had always known what certain things truly meant. He emphasized, ain't nobody talking about mentoring when it's 2 o'clock a.m. in Miami and the kid's 15 years old. When prosecutors asked him what he believed happened during that time, 50 Cent didn't offer graphic details, but his point was clear. "I'm not saying nothing happened that I saw with my own eyes, but I heard," he stated. "I heard it from people close to Justin, people in the camp who were too scared to talk." 50 Cent continued, explaining that during those 48 hours, it wasn't about music lessons or songwriting. Instead, he claimed it was about exposing Justin Bieber to things no teenage boy should witness. He also mentioned that Bieber later distanced himself from Diddy. When Bieber was asked in an interview whether he would allow his own child to attend Flavor Camp, he laughed nervously and replied, "Hell no." 50 Cent stressed that this wasn't a joke. It was Bieber's way of remembering those dark experiences. 50 Cent went on to describe Bieber's public meltdowns and emotional struggles, attributing them partly to the pressures of fame, which he said Diddy played a role in creating. Puff finds them young, promises them the world, then controls them with gifts and silence, 50 stated, and the silence is loud. When asked if Bieber had ever spoken out publicly, 50 admitted, no, not publicly. However, he pointed out that Bieber spoke volumes through his actions, what he didn't say, what he avoided, and how quickly he distanced himself from Diddy once given the opportunity. As the jury took in the gravity of the testimony, Diddy reportedly kept his gaze fixed on the table, expressionless. But the courtroom wasn't done yet, as 50 Cent moved on to the next part of his testimony. This section included people who were even closer to the streets, with secrets only 50 had the courage to reveal. The courtroom murmured as 50 Cent paused, then looked directly at Diddy before speaking again. Now this next one, he began. "This ain't just hearsay. I got it straight from the man who saw it himself." The room grew silent as 50 continued, "I'm talking about my guy, Gene Deal." Gene Deal, Diddy's longtime bodyguard, had spoken about this before in interviews, but now his story was being shared under oath. 50 Cent recounted Gene's claim about a strange shopping trip to an adult bookstore. According to Gene, Puff was in the store buying all kinds of items, things no one wanted to imagine. Gene, as security, had to carry the bag. However, it was what happened afterward that made the story unforgettable. 50 Cent testified that after the shopping trip, they flew to North Carolina for a show. Gene said that Puff and Ja Rule went into a private suite and Gene was instructed to stand guard at the door. What transpired next remained to be told. Later, Ja Rule himself opened the door, poked his head out, and told Gene, "Yo, you might not want to come in here. It's a little freaky in here tonight." The courtroom tensed as the prosecutors leaned forward. What was the implication of that? They asked. 50 Cent didn't hold back. He replied that Ja Rule wasn't referring to something harmless like candles and bubble baths. What was happening in that room was far more serious than to guys just hanging out. When asked why Ja Rule never spoke about the incident, 50 shrugged. "That's what I've been saying for years. Nobody wants to say anything. Not until now. But I'm here now, and I'm saying it." He emphasized that his goal wasn't to humiliate anyone, but rather to expose a pattern. "It's not about sexuality," he clarified. "It's about coercion, people using their power to do what they want, when they want, to whoever they want." 50 explained that this issue wasn't about what two adults do. It was about how one man with money manipulates everyone around him. He noted that the Ja Rule incident was just one of many similar events that had taken place behind closed doors, silenced by fame and NDAs. Yet, the damage remained. Ja Rule never said a word, but he hasn't been the same since. 50 said, "Just like a bunch of others I haven't even mentioned yet." Next on the list was a newer face, Yike Osiris. 50 Cent told the courtroom that he noticed the warning signs with Osiris long before the public did. "This kid blew up fast," 50 said. Had one hit, then Puff came around, and suddenly the boy started changing. According to 50 Cent, the same playbook was at work. Diddy lured Osiris in with luxury, lavish trips, mentorship promises, and a rumored getaway to Jamaica. People think it's just a vacation, 50 explained, but I told y'all before, Puff doesn't take people anywhere without expecting something in return. He recalled the social media buzz when Osiris posted pictures from Jamaica the same time Diddy was there. Fans began posting receipts, same hotel, same beaches, same week. Osiris tried to brush it off, claiming he went with his girl, but to those who've been around long enough, it didn't seem right. Then came Osiris's Instagram live meltdown. He was crying, ranting about feeling alone in the industry, and hinting that nobody knew what really happened behind the scenes. 50 Cent played a clip of the video in court. That boy was breaking down, and nobody helped. 50 said, "That's what happens when Puff discards you." 50 linked the emotional fallout back to Diddy's established pattern. He finds young talent, love bombs them with attention, trips, gifts, and then something shifts. They start falling apart, and Puff walks away clean. When asked if Osiris ever made specific accusations, 50 replied, "Not directly, but the signs were there." That meltdown, that's what people do when they're trapped in something they can't explain, as the courtroom processed yet another name on the list. 50 Cent closed the segment with a chilling reminder. How many young black artists have to break down before y'all see the pattern? This ain't no coincidence. This is a system, and Puff. The next names on the list were a surprising pair, Fabulous and Kevin Hart. You might think they got nothing to do with this, 50 said, but I saw it, and I know what they saw. He brought up a bizarre Drink Champs interview where Diddy began flirting with Fabulous on air, asking why they never partied together. You could see Fab's face. That man looked shook. 50 Cent's demeanor was serious as he testified. No sign of humor in his expression. He wasn't joking. He looked as though he was being reminded of something important. Then came the notorious Kevin Hart live stream moment. 50 Cent claimed that both Kevin Hart and Fabulous had been exposed to environments they didn't expect. Puff always throws the wildest parties, he said, but he doesn't let you bring your security. Why do you think that is? He described stories of secret rooms, confiscated phones, NDAs, and wild party rituals involving substances, blindfolds, and other things guests only whispered about afterward. Puff gets people doing things they'd never do in the light, 50 Cent added. And once you've been to one of those parties, he owns you. 50 Cent pointed to Kevin Hart and Fabulous as two examples of men who tried to laugh off the situation, but whose faces revealed a different reality. You ever seen a man laugh while dying inside? He asked. Watch those clips again. It ain't always about what happened. Sometimes it's about what you were pressured into, what you were made to feel like you owe. That's how Puff works. The jury didn't need any further convincing. The public videos were widely available. But now, under oath, the true context of the nervous laughter was finally being revealed. As 50 Cent wrapped up his testimony, the courtroom was silent. He then pulled out a folded sheet of paper from his jacket. This, he said, is the list. The one people said didn't exist. He began reading off the names slowly. Justin Bieber, Ja Rule, Bow Wow, Trey Songz, Kevin Hart, Fabulous, and more. Some I ain't even going to say because they're not ready yet, but they will be. The courtroom was stunned. These weren't just minor names, these were cultural icons, artists whose careers had been shaped by fame, power, and silence. 50 Cent claimed that Puff didn't work alone. He had a whole system in place, people who looked the other way, who helped him cover things up, who cleaned up his messes. The silence, he explained, wasn't just out of fear, it was a form of protection. They all signed NDAs, he said. They were told they'd never work again if they talked, and some of them believed it. 50 Cent added that some people on the list were not victims but collaborators, those who helped recruit others and benefited from it. But I won't name them, he said, not today. When asked why he decided to testify, 50 Cent answered simply, because I've seen too many people fall apart, too many breakdowns. I got kids, and I'm not letting this man do it to the next generation. He finished by saying, this trial ain't about one video. It's not about Cassie. It's not even about the money. It's about the power this man used to break people, to ruin people, and I ain't staying quiet no more. The courtroom didn't react with applause or cheers. It remained in stunned silence. When someone like 50 Cent feared and respected by nearly everyone names names, the game has officially changed. As the courtroom emptied that day, it wasn't just Diddy who seemed shaken. The entire industry appeared rattled. What 50 Cent had done wasn't just testify he had opened Pandora's box. The headlines were immediate, the fallout from 50 Cent's testimony in the Diddy trial continues to unfold, and the consequences are spreading beyond the courtroom. Behind the scenes, public relations teams worked tirelessly, lawyers drafted cease and desist letters, and celebrities who had once posted vacation photos with Diddy began to vanish from social media. Accounts were wiped clean, comments were disabled, and some individuals even deleted their entire profiles overnight. Sources close to the courtroom disclosed that several high-profile figures mentioned in 50 Cent's testimony were deeply concerned about being subpoenaed next. They're hiring lawyers, one insider revealed. This thing's about to get a lot bigger. In Hollywood, the buzz only grew louder. Agents started distancing themselves from their clients who were tied to Diddy, while some endorsement deals were quietly paused. Studios and streaming services began to reconsider their existing partnerships with bad boy-affiliated artists. Even Kevin Hart, who had once brushed off Diddy's antics on live TV, canceled 2 scheduled appearances the following week, citing family time. Meanwhile, fans flooded online forums, digging through old interviews, cryptic quotes, and long-forgotten posts. Every Drink Champs episode, Instagram live stream, and awkward red carpet exchange was now being analyzed under a fresh, critical lens. One Twitter user called it the #MeToo moment for male artists, and the movement seemed to be just beginning. The most chilling development involved the NDAs. Multiple former bad boy artists privately confirmed to investigative reporters that they had signed contracts preventing them from speaking negatively about Diddy, his family, his business partners, or even his events. One clause reportedly prohibited the disclosure of any unusual behavior witnessed at gatherings. But 50 Cent didn't hold back. In an Instagram post the morning after his testimony, 50 Cent wrote, "They tried to cancel me before. I dare them to try again. Y'all not going to shut me up while these people suffer." He shared a photo of himself standing in front of the courthouse with a simple caption, "More names coming soon." The silence had ended, and for the first time, it seemed that the system protecting the untouchable figures in the industry might finally be cracking.